Yeah, we a little recap from this weekend. We had a long road trip to Ohio State and Purdue. Saw a lot of great things out of some guys. Obviously, Ohio State's got a very, very, very tough team. Our guys did a pretty good job of going into a great environment and wrestling really tough. Had a big upset win with Joe's Argo beating the number 4 guy in the country. And then we traveled to Purdue, and the guys really came together. They had a great performance. We won 7 out of the 10 bouts, and I was very excited about how they performed. And now we get to come home Saturday to a really tough Indiana team with just 2 Big Ten dual meets left. So we're excited to get back to the field house Saturday.
When you've had these last 2 weekends on the road, really, I mean, how much does being at home help, and just having not having to worry about and be in unfamiliar places, wherever you've got everything right in front of you here, right at home this week?
Yeah, wrestling at home is special, but also so is wrestling on the road. But it's extremely hard. Being on the road, you're in a bus, you're in cars, you're in hotels, you're packing up, you're working out in foreign environments. But that's what builds the team. And so we had a great trip. I'm not going to lie to you. It was an amazing trip. Guys really came together, but being at home Saturday will be special. Our seniors only have 2 more chances at home, and it's a couple of really good seniors that we'll say goodbye to here in the next week. But sleeping in your own bed, training in your own facility, eating your own food is super important to us, and it is definitely a lot easier wrestling at home, but also a lot more distractions. So.
I'm just curious at Ohio State, what did Joe show you that maybe, I don't know if it was the case of him showing you things that maybe he hadn't shown before, but what do you think went into him being able to get that big win?
So Joe usually when he loses, he beats himself. Over the last 3 years, he wrestles extremely hard, and in the course of wrestling hard, he finds a way to make a mistake or two to beat him in the long run. Joe wrestled a very, very smart match against a kid that's very, very hard to wrestle. So he did a lot of the things that we preached about in practice, a lot of the things that we really have preached to him the last 4 years. It all came together for him, and he wrestled a very, very smart match. And in the end, his conditioning won. And what it really showed me, though, is Joe's ready to contend to be an All-American at the national tournament, and that's super important this time of year.
Coach, we've talked a lot about Joe and Braxton and Nicolard and some of your highly ranked guys, but for Luke and Wyatt on Sunday to win in the fashion that they did, what'd you see from them and their improvement so far this year?
All right, you're looking at 2 guys. Luke Meckler is a senior as well. I think Luke was like 11-15, 11-18 was his record last year. For him to have the turnaround he had now is just absolutely amazing. Luke is wrestling as well as he's ever had since he's been in our program, and I'm super excited to see him finish his career here. We're excited about where he is, and again, wrestling the best he's ever wrestled. As far as Wyatt lost to that kid last year. He lost 10-8. I think we beat him 16-1. And that's just a freshman. We have this kid for another 3 years. So Wyatt is an amazing talent. Wyatt's going to be very, very special. But we're excited about where he is as well. And I couldn't ask for a better kid. Really, really hardworking kid. Does everything we asked for, and he's a Wisconsin product. So super, super excited for his future.
When you get to February, I know you kind of have to be who you're going to be, right? You're always trying to improve, but are there players or are there athletes that you feel like have maybe a little bit more they can get to this year before you get to the the tournament part of the year?
Yeah, I do. I think they all can. Right, we talked. It's funny you bring that up. We talked about that today. We need one more jump out of these guys, out of all 10 of them. Between now and the Big Ten tournaments in a month, with 3 really tough duels coming in between there. We make one more jump in these 3 duels, in all phases of our program, in our conditioning, our technique, our tactics, right, our nutrition. We make one more jump in these 3 duels heading in the Big Ten tournament. We're going to be very, very, very tough team at the at the Big Ten tournament, and these guys are all going to be pretty happy. So I was definitely trying to motivate them to, we had a good road trip, right? We win a match, pretty good fashion. We can't just rest on where we are. We got Indiana coming in. We got Michigan the next week. We got UNI after that. We need to make one more jump and then end the dual meet season on a good note heading into the Big Ten tournament.